So I want to talk about soul ties, and I think this is the biggest problem with sleeping around. Um, from what I know, and from my experience, and particularly in this day and age when feminism, I mean, of course, it's easy to point the finger at feminism, but I would just say American or Western culture in general is very promiscuous. And I mean, I have a dick. I like sex as much as anybody else, but going through what I went through the last 10 years, sleeping around, messing with a lot of lower quality girls, because I was the best that I could get, not having a lot of resources and not having a lot of game, never really going out, that kind of thing. Um, Particularly going on free dating sites, because why would I go on the other dating sites? And Tinder never really worked out for me. I'm not like super photogenic, but I'm tall. I got nice features. So in person I look good, but like in photographs I'm not like the best looking guy. So Tinder isn't for me, obviously. And then I wouldn't go on like, Christian Singles. I wouldn't go on like Match.com or anything like that, because I'm not looking, at the time I wasn't looking for anything long term. I was looking for something short term. But from my experience with just looking for something short term and messing around with girls sexually and only looking for that, I learned that I mean, I came in contact with all types of girls. Now you could say that, and I might even say that a lot of the types of girls that I came in contact with were lower class girls, single moms, overweight girls, girls that weren't as attractive or whatever. And so they had to go on the dating sites because they weren't getting hit on in real life, or for whatever reason, they just, were sheltered or whatever, or they just didn't go out that much or whatever. So they would go on these free dating sites, and that's where I would meet them, right? So based upon those experiences, I got to sort of have somewhat of an viewpoint of certain types of girls, certain types of experiences, and it led me to see what these girls are doing. And it's not just these lower class type of girls, it's the other type of girls too. It's just the differences, like I said, is that the other type of girls, if they're hotter, etc., they're high, quote unquote higher class, they go out more. They go to clubs, go to bars or whatever, and they don't need to go on the dating sites, although I'm sure they do as well. Or they would go to Tinder, which is what I didn't hit up. And I didn't hit up the new ones like Bumble or all the other ones or whatever. So for me, it was mostly just OkCupid and Plenty of Fish, which they've got, those free websites have bad reputation for a reason. But anyway, so meeting the type of girls that I met, I learned the habits, and then I learned that these habits aren't just these lower class type of girls. These habits are all the type of girls in our culture, all the type of girls in America, all the type of girls, and this is what all our women are doing. And this is what was encouraged by feminism. This was encouraged by this just promiscuous culture that we live in, this porn culture, which has been a big deal, and people have talked about it. It's just, there's no way to stop it. There's no way to change things, because the parents aren't doing anything about it. Obviously, the parents don't know how to raise these kids. And then, of course, taking the red pill, you have to factor in the hypergamy. You have to factor in the fact that women are looking for guys for resources, and looking for guys for childbearing purposes and things like that. And then me being disenfranchised with the church, because the church, girls in the church were not any different than girls outside of the church, insofar as girls in the church were still seeking guys who had a lot of resources, even more so than girls outside of the church, right? So I learned that promiscuity is a thing. Promiscuity is a big thing. Promiscuity is common. These girls are sleeping around, but here's how they're doing it. They're doing it, they have one night stands, they got friend with benefits, but they've also got a main guy. And this is what these girls do. And you learn that girls in church don't do that, but girls in church are they would, if they weren't, married to Christ or whatever, but they have super high hypergamy, and they're looking for a guy with super high resources. So girls in the world, they might sleep around, they might mess around, so they'll date you, even if you don't have that high of resources. They'll still hang out with you, and this is sort of a tricky thing, because guys don't understand. Guys get hurt this way because guys don't quite get it, that she's just monkey branching. She's using you because she wants some dick. She's using you because she likes you temporarily. There's certain things about your personality that she likes, and she's gonna, when somebody better comes along, she's gonna hop off and dump you and then go with somebody better. And this is the type of mentality these females have. This is the type of this is their behavior out there in the dating scene. This is what I learned. And so this is a real big problem, because when you have sex with somebody, you are forming a soul tie, something called a soul tie. Even the Bible talks about that when two people come together, a man and a woman come together, their souls are knit together, their bodies are bonded, and there's an exchange, there's a solidifying or a mixing of energies there. And to some extent, I've messed around with a lot of girls, and to some extent it's like, it's not too bad, it's not that bad. But when you spend more time with somebody, when you date somebody, it really happens, because you get bonded in your soul with that person. And yes, it's the physicality of the sex, but it's also the mixing and the bonding of the soul there. So this is a danger with how these women are dating. They're not, a lot of guys I know were ready to find love when they were younger, ready to find love when they were 16, 17, 18, 19. A lot of guys that I know, but the girls weren't. The girls wanted the bad boys. The girls were chasing the guys who just wanted the fast sex and the fast whatever. And we were too nice. This is where that term nice guy came along. We were too nice. And then you had books by Robert Glover that came out in like 2002 or 3 or whatever. No more Mr. Nice Guy, right? Because there was a lot of nice guys, and we had to change. And this was a change in our society where guys had to wake up and realize girls don't want nice guys. Well, who sets the market, right? It's a buyer's market. Who sets the market? The one who holds the real estate, the one who holds the power. Who holds the power in sex and relationships? Women, because the men have to do the courting, the men have to do the chasing. So who sets the tone of what's what? The women. So when I was growing up, I heard all this like, men don't want to settle down, men only want sex, and it's like, no, it's just the guys that you're going after only want sex, because those are the guys that you're attracted to. You're attracted to bad boys. I don't know if it's female nature or whatever, it's fucked up, but they didn't want nice guys. They didn't want guys who wanted to settle down. They didn't want guys who wanted love or to be, long-term monogamous, to be loyal. They didn't want those guys. They wanted the assholes, right? So what ended up happening was guys had to figure out how to not be nice, and guys had to figure out how to, and there's this whole like mental thing, and it's like, why do we have to go through all that, right? And then you realize when I went out and started dating, I realized that the reason why we have to go through all that is because women are setting the tone, and this is what they want. They're jumping from guy to guy. And it's like, why are they doing this? Women are more players and more sexual. Women are more promiscuous than men are. Women are more unloyal than men are. This is statistically proven. But yet they're the ones who are always complaining about men never being loyal and blah, 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 when in reality, they're the ones who aren't loyal. They're the ones who have spinning plates. They're the ones who are monkey branching. They're the ones who are hypergamous. They're the ones who are always seeking the better deal. They're the ones who are cheating around on the side. They're the ones who are, jumping from date to date to date, jumping from relationship to relationship to relationship. Guys, we just kind of take what we can get, most of us. And that's the bare bones reality of what I learned from the dating game, is that the women are the ones who are setting the tone. The women are the ones who probably have trouble pair bonding. The women are the ones who are ice queens. The women are the ones who jump from relationship to relationship. The women are the ones who can't love deeply. The women are the ones who have trouble being loyal. The women are the ones who are super promiscuous. The women are the ones who only chase bad boys. The women are the ones who only, who don't want to settle down. So everything they lied and projected on us was them.